we just had our first court conference subsequent to the arraignment in New York State. We have a very extensive discovery statute, which we are endeavoring to comply with the work of both the court and the defense counsel. This is a 13-year case, so as you saw, we have a great deal of information, evidence, photographs, reports to provide to the defense counsel. We've begun that process. I think it was 8 gigabytes of material, which is a tremendous amount. And that's just the beginning. We're going to continue to do that on a rolling basis. And this case, the charges in the indictment are just allegations. So this is the first step in the process of proving those allegations. So we look forward to undertaking that process. We've spoken to the victims. The victims are not going to be making any. They've elected not to make any statements to the media at this time. They want to maintain their privacy. They are obviously interested in the case, but they're not going to be speaking to the media. So that's about it. So, as you can imagine, it's a very personal thing for the victims' families. So we're going to support the victims' families. They make the decision as to what they do, where they go, who they speak with. So I would never speak for the attorneys. The victims' families, other than to say, we're going to support them in whatever it is that they want to do.
Are you aware if they were here today?
There were some victims. There were some victims who were family members of the victims who were here today. I'm not going to discuss that. So there's just certain conditions with regard to the disclosure of materials, and that's something that was worked out between the court, defense counsel, and ourselves, and that's standard procedure. It's under seal.
Voluminous, you said it will take a whole month to go through.
I'm sorry?
Voluminous, you say it will take a full month to go through.
You're talking about 13 years worth of investigation. So it is, I'm not going to speak for defense counsel, but suffice to say, it is a massive amount of material, and don't forget it's continuing, because the investigation is continuing. So we're talking about a massive amount of material.
Any of you have a task force that's been in place, and we understand that you want to keep it in place and also expand your whole case control. Are you getting tips about other victims who may have been found on highways or roadways near where Heuermann may have lived or where he may have frequented? Are you getting new tips that are valuable to you?
We receive tips on all cases at all times. We take those serious and we work through them, but we maintain the confidentiality of the investigation up until the time we can bring charges.
Last time,
it was basically what I just elicited, what I just spoke to you all about, which was the discovery schedule and the manner in which we were going to get this massive amount of discovery over to the defense. It has to be done in a way that makes sense for the defense, but also makes sense for us as well, so they can understand what they get, and we're able to catalog and identify what exactly it is we provide.
last time you say that you had some case. Last time you say that it was some stories about the DNA for the 4 victims. Is already progress about that?
So the investigation is continuing, but once that investigation is concluded, we'll have more to say. That investigation is ongoing.
Last week you said the scores of evidence gathered at the Massachusetts Department would take time to sift through. How much of what was handed over today is from last week's search?
It's placed on the record, specifically what we turned over, which is part of the court record. I don't think anything specifically from the recent searches has been turned
There
over.
are some reports that Heuermann, soon-to-be ex-wife, is upset at the way the house was effectively upside down. She might try to rebuild the case. What's your response?
She can pursue whatever remedies she feels are necessary.
If things are proceeding as they have been, do you anticipate a trial, you do not anticipate a plea deal?
I don't anticipate anything. I anticipate that we have to show up every day. We have to comply with our discovery requirements, and we'll negotiate the case in good faith with the court and defense counsel and see how it plays out. Just like any other case.
What's it like for you as DA?
I've led many cases. Last one being in 2019. So this is what we do as prosecutors.
Is it imminent that you might go before a grand jury to seek additional charges in this case?
As we've said, we've worked through the grand jury process. That grand jury process is continuing. The good thing about the grand jury process is we can subpoena witnesses and evidence, but it's also secret. So we'll maintain the secrecy of that grand jury until the grand jury is out.
What happens on?
We're not going to discuss specific terms with regard to this or any other.
What happens next on September 27th, and what needs to happen between now and then?
So what needs to happen between now and then, we need to continue to comply with the discovery requirements. We're working with the court, we're working with defense counsel. That discovery is going to be going out on a rolling basis, and as was indicated in court, it's a tremendous amount of material. So we're going to continue to provide that. Obviously, the defense is going to need time to digest all of that which we're given.
Do you anticipate a date for the end of the discovery process?
It's going to take a while, and we just need to be productive, and that's something that we'll work out with regard to the court.
When we spoke at the home, you said nothing jumped out initially from what you took from the home. Has that changed since then?
So when I say nothing jumps out, I mean, you wait until all the facts are in, and then you draw conclusions from those facts. So we still have to continue to wait for all of that, and not only the cataloging of the evidence, but all of the testing, including forensic testing, to get done, which unfortunately, unlike sometimes on TV, it just doesn't happen.
How long does forensic testing take?
Varies. It depends on what we talk about. Is it DNA? Is it some other analysis? Is it mitochondrial DNA? Is it nuclear DNA? So it's very, it's dependent upon the facts and circumstances of each individual piece of evidence. So we just have to wait for the process to play out.
At least once, you say?
Certainly.
Some of the DNA evidence is, well, all of it is over a decade old. How confident are you of the methods the lab is using? Some of it untested, some of it more modern, and being complete.
Extremely confident. It's all been tested. It's all been deemed admissible in courts of law across the United States, so we're confident in ourselves.
And as far as the victim